Alright, we're going to take a look at Chapter 5 of StuCamp. This covers marketing with Instagram. So the high-level topics in this chapter are understanding the business value of using Instagram for marketing, knowing how to create and optimize an Instagram business profile, understanding the components of an Instagram post, knowing how to utilize Instagram stories and live video, and how to implement a strategy for content that you post on Instagram. So Instagram was founded in 2010 by Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger, and within 9 months of launching they had over 7 million users, and 2 years later they had 30 million users. So they doubled their user base faster than any previous social network had done in the past. And in 2012, they were purchased by Facebook for $1 billion. So today, there's over 1 billion active monthly users, there's 25 million active businesses, and over 100 million photos are uploaded every day. So we'll take a quick look at this Today Show interview way back when here. This is from July of 2017. And they're talking about the shift away from traditional broadcast media and print. So hopefully that helps you understand the scope and power of social media to the point that it definitely is not necessarily a replacement, but pretty darn close to replacing some of the more traditional marketing platforms that we have, like print and TV and radio. So here's a look at the types of demographics that we might see for Instagram users, and one question I have is, what do you see that stands out to you in these demographics? So we see a split of 43% female, so it skews more towards female users, and a definite high end on the lower age group. So 13 to 17 and 18 to 29 make up a good percentage of the Instagram user, and a very low percentage for the 65 and up. Pretty contrary to the Facebook demographics that we looked at in Chapter 4. Also, the split here with where people use Instagram. So the majority of users are urban, with a significant decrease in the rural use, and also um, similar in income as far as ranges go. 75 and up makes up a large percentage of the income range for the demographic, and in this instance, College Plus tends to be the type of user of Instagram. So, marketing with Instagram, over 70% of US businesses are active on the app. So, again, another question I have for you is to think about whether you've found new products on Instagram by following a business or maybe an influencer. Um, People like um, Instagram because they're inspired and they like to find new things or new uh, places, products, or activities. And almost 60% of people say that they have discovered new products on Instagram. And now, with the advent of some of the changes that Instagram has made with Reels, there's been a huge increase in the amount of time people spend watching videos on Instagram. And I think some of your personal observations um, kind of held that fact to be pretty true, that you all, or at least a majority of you that use Instagram, um, noticed that you were spending a significant amount of time watching video on the platform. So there's over 25 million businesses that are active on the app, and 60% of users say they have found new products. So the ability for a business to have a profile is fairly old now. Um, this was made available in 2016, and this offers all the same features of your personal profile, but you have the benefit of analytics. So you can also create Instagram ads, you can add your contact info, industry information, and your address in your profile section. So those are some of the key things that you would want to be aware of when you're setting up an Instagram business profile. So the top 50 brands on Instagram post an average almost 5 times a week, and 75% of users take some sort of action, such as visiting a website or looking at a brand's post um, when they're on Instagram. So 3/4 of the users will interact with a business page's post. 30% of users have bought from products they found on Instagram or profiles they found products on, and Instagram has the highest follower rate for interactions among all social media, which means people are more likely to like and share than any other platform. So Instagram for business, there's a series of steps you can follow to set up your business profile on Instagram's website, and I will post that in the chapter description. So what makes a good Instagram post? Um, Obviously, Instagram is a photo-centric platform, so all content has to be posted with either a photo or a video, and almost 100% of buyers state that the visual appearance is the main reason they buy a product. So an image-centric platform is just made um, for that sort of thing. Instagram also has 40 different filters that help you adjust the look and feel of your photos. And they also allow you to now post content that's a little bit more timely in stories. And they're also splitting off some of their video into the Reels section, which has a significant watching percentage of traffic now. So we're going to take a look at posts by a company called Tensile. So they make these treehouse style tents that are anchored to 3 trees or 3 objects out in nature. So they feature some really nice product photography from all over the world, from people that use the product as well as from the brand. And these photos tend to really get people to stop and look and pay attention. So you can see when this was posted, this post on its own had over 4,000 likes and 36 comments. You might want to take a note too. Short copy, a few, 3 or 4 hashtags. It's very important to provide photo credit and ensure that the content you're sharing is either royalty free or something you created or you have permission to use. Here's another example. Over 5,000 likes, and again, 2, 3 hashtags, a few mentions of the photographer and possibly other people that are in the photo, and a pretty short tagline here. You'll also notice that the important hashtags are featured up near the top, and it's pretty common to use a period to separate multiple lines and use additional hashtags. But the most important ones are usually higher up. That's where somebody will see the hashtags as they're scrolling through their feed. Here's another example of a giveaway that they ran. So they had 9,000 likes, and in order to enter, you had to like the post, follow 2 profiles, and then tag additional friends. So this is a great strategy for engagement as well as building a brand for other Instagram profiles or building a followership. So in some instances, there tends to be a network of Instagram accounts, or even with influencers where you might work together to create a strategy to help each other build your followers. One more post here, almost 3,000 likes. Seasonality, holidays, these are all elements that you can incorporate into the content that you're posting. So you notice here this is a Happy New Year post, thanking your viewers, your followers, your customers. This is a great way to generate some kind of unique content. So the elements for Instagram as far as video goes, it's not very new now in 2021, so this has been around almost 5 years. So you can upload a 60-second video, you can shoot that video directly with your phone through the app, or you can shoot a video outside of the Instagram app and then upload it. And you can do some trimming and basic editing inside of the Instagram app. Another example we'll look at is Red Bull, the energy drink. They will feature almost all video since everything they kind of sponsor is related to action sports or extreme sports. and really they don't hardly ever feature their product. So they're really promoting their followers and consumers. And they're going after their target audience by featuring this extreme sports lifestyle. So you can see here when this screenshot was taken, they had 13 million followers. Let's take a look at where they're at now. So Red Bull, the brand. So you'll notice when I search, this little blue seal with the check mark means that the account is um, authorized or authentic. So it's been verified and validated. So between the time the slide was made at 13.4 million and now they're at 14 million. So they've grown a little bit. I would imagine the slide's maybe a year or two old, if that. So you'll see here lots of extreme sports featured here. So they tend to sponsor a lot of athletes and have participants in X Games and all sorts of different events. So you can see snow sports, water sports, motorsports. Here's kind of a rare post here actually featuring their product. Let's see what they have to say of it. So, yeah, they're asking a question. Which one are you feeling today? No, you can't pick them all. So, um, even a post like that, now look, 120,000 followers have liked this, which is pretty astounding. Take a look at motorsport, 3.4 million views. Some water sport, 300,000 views. So pretty interesting to see the variety of the content and how it's being consumed by the end users here. So captions, you need to include something for every picture or video. It could be up to 2,200 characters, but the shorter the better to maximize your engagement, since we really don't like to read a whole lot. Also, longer captions end up getting cut off, so you'll only see just a few lines, like you'll see here. This is intentionally geared towards mobile, so you're going to see at least the caption and maybe one line of the additional photo credit or hashtags. So you're able to use emojis, different sorts of punctuation. You can get pretty creative with the text and use different characters to make little ASCII graphics or add some comedy to what you're posting. It's always good to post questions to encourage some comments being left. Shout out other brands with the @ symbol to include them in your post here. So we looked at captions. Next, let's look at hashtags. You can have up to 30 hashtags, but it's best to keep within 5 to 10. And post with at least one hashtag average 12.5% more engagement. So pretty popular hashtags include, hashtag love, hashtag TBT, which stands for Throwback Thursday, cute, photo of the day, Instagood. So it's best to keep hashtags relevant to the content and think about the fact that the way your content can get discovered is by somebody clicking on a hashtag on another post. So you want to use hashtags that are frequently used. There are some services out there that allow you to research your hashtags. One was called Hashtagify. Looks like I had my browser changed on me, or my search engine changed on me. So Hashtagify lets you search Twitter for hashtags or Instagram. they want to charge you for Instagram. So let's try one, graphic design. So you can start to see, and you could probably make a correlation to between Twitter and Instagram of popularity of hashtags. If I search for the graphic design hashtag, you'll see hashtag design is more popular. You'll also notice that in popularity trend here, in a 1 week trend, there's a increase here. So 2 weeks ago, there was a pretty big dip, but now we're seeing a new high trend here. There's also some spelling variations. They'll show you case sensitive most likely than anything. Hashtags aren't case sensitive, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And you can see the majority of that is used in the United States. So there are some other tools here. One of them is just looking for popular hashtags. So you'll be able to see, looks like we might have to sign up for an account here. Last month's popular hashtags. So you can see at least 3. I'll post some other tools that you guys can use for researching hashtags when you need to. There are a number of hashtags that are banned, which means that you shouldn't be using them. Posts that you have used banned hashtags in are called shadow banned, which means they'll be hidden from appearing in the app or in search for certain hashtags. Some of the most popular ones are hashtag like, New Year's, and popular. Here's a list that we can take a look here at the most banned 2020 hashtags. So these are banned because they are typically abused or misused, because people will flag them because they're spammy. So to find banned hashtags, they have this nice alphabetical list here, A through Z. We can see here. As you start looking at some of these, you can probably get an understanding of why some of these would be banned. And maybe not on some. It's hard to tell sometimes. So definitely want to be cautious on hashtags that you're using. Maybe double check what's on the list in comparison to what you're going to use. So we want to make sure, like I said earlier, use hashtags that are relevant. And we want to use hashtags to help new followers find your content. So in this example, Califia Farms shows different design of products with water, or sorry, not water, just great nature backdrops. So you can see they're promoting product like this on Instagram here. Hashtag Friday. One other thing that I've found effective is try to incorporate the hashtags into your caption, so to make it almost like a part of a sentence versus just an afterthought. Next important thing to know is call to action. You're not able to put hyperlinks or clickable text in your caption. So if we take a look at this post, the only things that are going to be clickable are hashtags or mentions. If I want to go to the Califia Farms website, I can only click on the URL that's up here in the profile description. So one common thing that is trending now is a thing called a link tree. And this is a website service, linktr.ee. And what it allows you to do is set up a small website or web page with important links related to your brand. So this is something you could do on your own. You don't have to pay for a service like this. Set up a separate page on your domain, call it Linktree, maybe even put it in a directory, and um, have an index.html there that's styled like your Instagram profile, and then direct traffic from your profile up here. So you could have your domain.com/links or Instagram and have some unique links that you can maintain there. So a common practice is to say link in bio to get people to click back on your bio and click through to whatever you're trying to get some engagement on. Another example of um, content here, hashtag Top Shop Style. They've kind of made their own hashtag and then photo credit, and then they're using the hashtag link in bio. So Instagram stores or shops, these came out in 2020. That's just a way for you to sell product through their social platform. So this is called social commerce or social e-commerce. Um, shops can be found via the Instagram Explore link and in the nav bar. Within the app, customers can browse product from @shop, filter by categories, and add items to their bags and complete a whole purchase all through the Instagram app. Next thing we'll look at is stories. So stories are unique because the content goes away or disappears after 24 hours. These are meant to be posted at a higher frequency than your regular post. So you'll see some people post 7 or 8 or 10 or 20 or 100 items in their stories. This is kind of more off the cuff, behind the scenes content. Doesn't have to be perfect. Some profiles I've seen that use stories um, will post seemingly an unlimited amount of content. I'm just trying to think of one that might have some fresh content in their story. So you'll know if there's a story because around the profile photo, there's this Instagram color rainbow here. So here's a great example of somebody that posts a lot in their story. Each one of these lines is a different scene in their story. So this is kind of like almost like a mini photo gallery or tour of an event. Get to the end here. Some of these are video, some are just photos. And then we're back. So one thing you'll notice in the story, you can rewatch it the same day, but the next day this will be gone. Notice this was 14 hours ago. If I come back here, the last regular post was actually not even 8 hours ago was the comment that he made back on his own post. But you'll notice the content is very different from the story. So we definitely don't want to repeat the content between regular posts and story posts. Next thing you can do within Instagram is live video. So these appear in your story. You can start a live session pretty much anytime. So instead of creating a static image or video, you can go live. So here's an example. You can also ask questions and have polls within your live sessions. And you can track how long you're on, as well as how many people are viewing in real time. So in some instances, it's beneficial to have two screens set up, one for your live, and then another that you can see comments and reply. Or if you have the luxury, having someone else help moderate your live session. So next thing we can take a look at is Instagram TV or IGTV. You'll probably notice that for longer clips, you get to watch about 20 or 30 seconds, and then the video will pause and it'll say keep watching as a link that says IGTV at the bottom, or a button. So you can have up to an hour long. These IGTV videos don't go away like a story video would. You can pretty much have your own video channel, and the content um, feed is based on the accounts you follow when you're actually starting to watch IGTV video. So the accounts you follow that also do or generate video are the ones that you're going to see more frequently in your personal IGTV video feed. So take a look at this one. So that is 1.2 with IGTV video. All video on Instagram typically is shot in vertical format. If you do happen to post video that's horizontal, it will get cropped, or you can crop as needed. So Instagram's algorithm up until 2016 used to be chronological. So as things were posted, they would show up in your feed. But recently, it's now changed to show content that is most engaged with at the top of your newsfeed. So it's really important for brands to adopt a content strategy that increases your overall and post engagement. So content with low engagement is less likely to be seen in somebody's newsfeed, so someone that follows you. So some strategies here: take advantage of Instagram stories, live video, and IGTV. Try using the Instagram shopping. If you have a budget and can afford it, use influencers to get your message out or share your product. Always try to post with the location. Always try to tag other users to increase visibility and engagement. Try and post consistently and at optimal times, which again, if you convert your Instagram profile to a business account, you gain access to analytics. So post content that's visually appealing. You can do something called regramming, which is reposting someone else's content. So as you are in the app, you can use another post and add text and graphics over top of it to reshare it. It's also very important to engage with your audience and make sure that if there are questions being asked, that you're answering them in a timely manner. And then this goes for really all our social platforms. Try to not be overly salesy. So one thing to discuss would be, how content strategy options can impact a business positively. So here's just a few more ideas that could have a positive impact. not necessarily emojis, but asking questions, running contests and promos, account takeovers. This is where you might have either an influencer or a fan or a celebrity take over the account for a day and have them post on your behalf. And then the other option is advertising on Facebook. So we'll take a look at this brand here, some of you might know. So Micron pens, they sometimes have account takeovers. So let's take a look here. Might be hard to find unless you're an avid follower, or you can see kind of a distinct change in the content that's being posted. Sometimes when an account takeover is happening or about to happen, you'll have kind of an introductory image or video of the person that is doing that takeover. So take a look here. Yeah, looking for recommendations on music. It's probably going to be a little hard to find a takeover right now, but be on the lookout. So next, Instagram stories is a great example we can take a look at on Lowe's website or profile. So there's no sound on this, but you can see they're doing kind of a how-to in all these little tiny vignettes here to almost make a short movie out of each one of the frames, and then kind of filling in some longer video frames here. So not overly sales oriented, but kind of incentivizing and persuading the user to buy product at Lowe's and do the same DIY. Here's an example of Instagram shopping. So we're looking at profile for ColourPop, and here's an embedded link that takes us over to the shop where you can then add to cart, check out, and then finalize an order. Next example, the idea of the visually appealing content. So bright colors, nice detail. Any more now, tagging the location. So here's the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. Here's a restaurant in Las Vegas as well. So to stand out in the feed of the end user, visual appeal is very important. Then as far as filters go, these are what you could apply to your photo after you take it with your phone. Most popular are Clarendon, Juno, and Sierra, followed by Valencia and X Pro 2. So the most popular out of all countries is Clarendon, #1 filter. So here's an example of a regram. So the user, Ria Miwo, is the person that took the photo, and then Lego has picked that up and reshared their content on their platform, on their channel. So next, GoPro. Another profile that's very much like Red Bull, where they very rarely feature their own camera product in their posts because they're featuring what their product can do for all the different users. So you'll notice here there is a sales pitch here for the Hero Black, showing savings, but it's also just showing the content that you can create with one of their products. you'll notice as we go through this video here, don't really see anybody using the product. We can only assume that's on a drone. Next thing on their profile, just to pay attention to, they have posts, they also have Reels, IGTV, and then anything they've been tagged in. They also have a way to group content beneath their profile details. So this is a way you can start to kind of segregate certain content. I like how they're using tips here, history, as well as contests that they're running right now. So take a look at Reels. So same content, only shorter. So we can see, I believe it's going to be actually longer content there. So lots of content to engage with people. Notice the number of plays here, 765,000, 4 million, 19 million, 3 million. So lots of content being consumed by their followers. So great example of avoiding the product pitch. Most popular emojis on social media, the laughing tears here. That's a great example of the use of emojis. So it's a post about coffee, so coffee emoji, fire, color palette, which would be probably your artist that drew on the cup, and then a photo of credit with your camera. Some other examples here, experimenting with different caption lengths, depending on which platform we're looking at, Starbucks versus Oreo, short and to the point for the Oreos. Contests and promos. So Tom's running a shoe campaign, 1 day without shoes, take a pic, and doing some charitable shoe donations to children in need. Tag your friends, use the hashtag, and see what the impact is at when the contest is done. So next thing, Instagram and COVID. So part of the reason the Instagram shop and the Facebook shops were released was to help small businesses sell online. Instagram also provided some educational resources in search related to coronavirus and COVID-19. They also added notices at the tops of feeds with reliable sources from expert health organizations. They launched a sticker campaign to let people share accurate information, including reminders on hygiene and social distancing. They also did remove accounts from recommendations unless they were posted by credible health groups. So anything related to COVID-19 that wasn't from an authorized or validated profile was removed. And they removed posts that were rated as false by third-party fact checkers. So like Facebook, since they're owned by Facebook, Instagram also prohibits misleading ads for products that refer to COVID-19. So anything touting a cure would be removed. They also did some fundraising features, donation stickers for nonprofits, created a shared story to help people practice social distancing with others, and they just made it easier for supporting small business through the purchase of gift cards or by ordering food on the platform. So you can take a look at some examples here. So small businesses, even freelancers, all the way up to big business all over the world are really gaining some good success with Instagram. And again, like most of the social media we're going to look at, it's kind of a necessary um, tool for doing business in the 2021 in our times that we're in now. So we'll take a quick look here at our assignment. So chapter 5's assignment is to independently um, pick a local, small to medium-sized company that's local and active on Instagram and look at their posts over the last 2 weeks and do some evaluation of all the things we just looked at, what types of photos they're sharing, captions, hashtags, call to actions. Then create a short PowerPoint that answers the following questions. Then present that PowerPoint in a Flipgrid video. So there's a couple steps to this assignment. So in your PowerPoint, you should be identifying what they're doing in their content strategy that stands out or doesn't. Show some examples of good or bad posts. Make 5 recommendations on how they can improve their organic Instagram posts, and make recommendations on how the company can improve their overall strategy. So you're going to submit a PowerPoint and a Flipgrid video to this assignment. And I think that wraps up everything we need for Instagram.